Do you live your life rock boat to rock boat? If so, then welcome aboard the BoatCast, the podcast for rock boaters by rock boaters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome founder, president, and chairman of We Rock Cancer, Tim Reed, and also lead singer of Welshly Arms, Mr. Sam Getz. Welcome.
What's
Hey
up,
guys.
gentlemen?
Good to have you guys. This is a
Good to be
special
a part
one,
of it.
and I know an episode near and dear to Chris's heart. And Tim, why don't you take it away? Tell us a little bit about We Rock Cancer and when did you start up with this wonderful cause?
Sure. Well, I had a little run-in with cancer, as many of us do. I had some skin cancer issues back in 2018. Came out of nowhere. Was a big surprise for me, but looking back, it probably shouldn't have been. I grew up in Florida, and we used, I'm not sure what SPF cocoa butter is, but I'm pretty sure it's a low number, maybe a negative number. But those roosters all came home and had a little thing pop up that wouldn't go away. Had really good access to healthcare, fortunately, because I'm a former Air Force guy. So they took care of me. We did the surgery and everything worked out great. It was very eye-opening to see how important early detection is, and also to see what happens when you don't have access to healthcare. And if those things linger and go on, they can really turn into problems that they don't need to be. The Bob Marley story, having died of skin cancer at 34 years old, is an incredible story. And then we just continue to lose folks that are important to us. The people that love music so much. Jimmy Buffett just, lost him last year to skin cancer. So it's out there. You have to be aware of it. He is a friend of mine. We've known each other about 30 years or so. So after my run, I said, Pam, we have to find a way to make this the priority, an early detection screening, more accessible to people so they can just get it where they are, And I said, what if we brought dermatologists to rock shows and people, while they were having a beverage, could also get a 5-minute skin cancer screening? Skin cancer, it's the most common form of cancer in America, which a lot of people don't know. It's also the most treatable if you detect it early. And it's also the only form of cancer that a trained medical professional can detect with a naked eye. So that's kind of the trifecta of things. I know there's lots of cancer out there, but to me, it just seemed like that's a perfect storm of things that we could really get our hands around and start doing some of these early detection screenings that can make a real difference to people. So we tried. We had a couple hundred people at this show. Half of them got screened, and half of those people were found to have an issue that required further treatment from our dermatologist. So they were blown away, we were blown away, and we knew we were on the right track. And it's been 5 years now, off and running. And things are, we've got a lot of great initiatives to roll this out to folks who are working in some intense environments, like landscapers and construction workers, agriculture workers, people who are underserved and really need access to this kind of early detection. So that's what we're all about. And the big event on September 14th that Sam is a part of, Welshly Arms, and the unlikely candidates will be truly rocking cancer. They're going to put the rock in rock. That's what this is all about.
Sam, what's it like to get asked to go to such an awesome event that is going to potentially help save people's lives during the screenings? What's that like as an artist? And did you ever think when you first started off that you'd be asked to headline such a crazy, awesome event?
Yeah, I mean, Chris, that's an awesome question because to answer the easy part of that question, no, it's not something I, started playing guitar thinking, hey, I'm gonna be, able to save lives. And of course you think like, oh, maybe lyrics will touch someone, maybe make someone think twice about something. that's, as a musician, really more maybe where you think you're effective and helpful, but to have an opportunity to do what we love doing with, all of you guys who we love seeing and getting to play concerts and rock out with, to get to do that and know that we are also hopefully raising some awareness, raising some funds, and maybe catching some, detecting some early cancer and really saving lives. That's awesome. So thank you, Tim, for letting us be a part of it this year.
And Tim, looking at those statistics, 25% of the people that were screened needed some intervention. So just the yield is really high. So it's really going a long way there.
Yeah, and that's people that were walking around, without that information. So that's the key. We're providing information that they can act on. As I said, if you get the information early and you act on it, things are going to work out, more times than not in your favor. But it's important to pay attention. It's important to get that screening done. And
Yeah,
that's what this is all about. And everyone that comes to our event, we screen artists. So Sam's going to get a screening on the 14th of September. We screen the crew. We screen everybody that comes, and the audience can all take advantage of that as well. So,
and can you walk through, for those that are listening who are going to attend the event for the first time, what does a screening look like?
Yeah, so it's done by one of our board-certified dermatologist partners. You go into a private area, and we offer two kinds. There's an express screening, so if you have a spot that's been, you've been wondering about, they can just look at that if that's what you want focused on. Or we can do a full screening, which basically, get down to the clothing that kind of approximates what you would wear at the beach or the pool. And they go over your body, they have a little viewing scope, and they'll let you know if there are any issues of concern. The whole thing takes about 5 minutes from start to finish. And you walk out of there knowing if things look good or if there's something you have to look at.
Sam, when you're performing at an event like this, right? Obviously, you're there for an amazing cause, but at the end of the day, some people might be battling cancer and might be there and might be new to your music or a big fan of Welshly Arms. What's it like knowing that they might have you on a playlist on their phone, on their computer, while they're battling this? As an artist, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it kind of means everything. I mean, I've heard a lot of really great stories and testimonies of music, healing or at least bringing a positive spirit while you're going through a healing process, and something, that can get you through a lot. And I believe that music is that way. I've used other people's music as a effective tool to get through hard times, and that means everything. I mean, that is really why we've written half of the songs that we have. They were coming from maybe a struggle of our own, or a place and meant to help heal.
Tim, when you're curating the next We Rock Cancer event, and for the listeners out there, Tim, can you tell everybody how many We Rock Cancer events have there been?
This will be number 6 of our annual shows. We have screening events throughout the year at 5K races or athletic events or cultural gatherings and landscaper conferences, things like that, where we can address the need directly. So we have this one big annual concert to really bring everyone together, provide this screening on site, and have fantastic music like Welshly Arms, Likely Candidates, and Laura Seguris come out and rock. This is the 6th time we'll be doing the big annual event.
So, Tim, when you're going back to what I was saying before, when you're curating the next one, what's the inner workings like when selecting bands and artists to come perform and or headline? Can you let us into some of the secrets?
I'm not sure there's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of learning. I'll tell you that I was never aware of. That Sam gets to live this every single day. I get I get to do it every single day, but only with one payoff. He gets the payoff on a more frequent basis. The good news is I get to target artists that I love, right? So we met Sam and the Unlikely Candidates on the Rock Boat in 2020, and we're blown away by those performances. You know, these were bands and artists that we've tracked for a long, long time. I was telling Sam earlier that I think the first time we probably saw him was with the Sixers and Pat McGee and Carbon Leaf at Wolfcraft in a big show back in 2007 or something like that. So, you know, the arc is long, as they say, right? And it bends towards rock. That's not an exact quote, but it's, you know, something like that. And so we track this. We know you put these bookmarks, in your file, and you say, if I was going to have an event like this, who would I want to be on the bill? And that's kind of how we target it.
And sometimes it helps to have, I know that I've had conversations with Sam on the boat, and the rock boat community is, we're all part of it. And I think it helps in a position like you, Tim, when you get to interact with someone, let's say in the buffet or in the hallway, and you just get to have that conversation. And it's like, yeah, that's somebody I would like at a We Rock Cancer concert, like it's almost like it's full circle. And then you get to take that experience and then bring that music to another event to help individuals and raise money for awareness. Tim, what kind of programs does We Rock Cancer have? I know you had mentioned a little bit about the screenings, the events that you have for the construction workers. Is there anything else or anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we have a program we're ready to roll out that's called PIA. It's a Peer Influencer and Youth Ambassador. And this is an effort to move education and awareness much earlier in the life cycle. A lot of older folks like me, you're going to have issues pop up, and early detection is great, but I'd rather prevent it if we can. So 85% of the damage that you're going to do to your skin happens before you're 24 years old. One visit to a tanning bed doubles your chance of having melanoma occur in your body. One tanning bed visit is going to double that. So we want that information to get into the hands in the right way to that target audience whose parents have stopped putting sunscreen on. They're on their own. They're making decisions about sun exposure. And guess what? They don't want to hear it from me, and they don't want to hear it from you guys. But if we can find a way to get them to hear it from their peers and listen about the importance of that message, that's our next big initiative, to roll that out.
And what can people expect when they get to We Rock Cancer? Will they'll be at which is at the Capital One Hall in Virginia, DC?
That's right. It's in Tysons, Virginia, just outside of DC. Yeah.
Will they be able to purchase merch? And I was on your merch store earlier for We Rock Cancer. And for those that are listening, I would encourage you to check out werockcancer.org. As the merch that you guys have is, I like the hoodies. I like the tumblers. Now, will people be able to have an opportunity to not only buy We Rock Cancer, but also the bands that are performing? Will that be an option as well?
Absolutely. And that's, one of the things that is foremost in our planning is to make sure that the artists are treated as well or better than they get treated in any other venue that they play in with any other partner. So not only will their merch be there, but our share is zero, and the venue won't take it behind either.
That's awesome.
We know that's a big issue.
It's rare.
That is not common. Wow.
Yeah. So they can roll in whatever they want. That their stuff will all be there, and we know it's a very important part of their business model. It is music business after all, so we're aware of that, and we want them to be treated well, because that way they'll be partner artists with us forever, and that's what we want to do. This is not a single night transaction for us.
Nice.
It's very cool.
Now, Tim, when you were thinking of this We Rock Cancer foundation, what were some other names that you tossed around before you landed on We Rock Cancer, and how did you come up with the design for the logo?
Boy, that's some good questions. Well, we tossed around some other cancer rocks.
Tim, you're on the BoatCast, man.
This is where you come for the tough questions.
Tough question. It's like Oprah.
Well, it all boils down to, is the URL available or not? I mean, that's the fast answer to this, these days. So we had 3 or 4 names, and a couple of them were taken, and some were too similar to other names. And then we just all sat down as a group and said, this is about we, the group, all of us, big tent, fighting cancer, but we're not going to fight it. It's about the music, and the music component to us is just as important as the cancer component. Every one of our events, we also bring local artists together with national touring artists and give them a chance to perform on the same stage and do collabs if they would like. So that's a big part of what we do too. And there'll be a couple of DC-based artists on the bill as well on the 14th of September. So yeah, it's all part of the elixir, that we put together.
All about from the stance of the dermatologist, is if somebody's listening and they're saying, my best friend's a dermatologist, we go to concerts all the time, how could they get in touch with you and volunteer their services?
There's contact info on our website at werockcancer.org. Lots of information there. And you just identified our single biggest need is dermatologists, because I can do load in and load out and set up screening areas and do paperwork and sell merch and all of those things. And we have a great volunteer team. There's about 70 or 80 volunteers that come together to support these events too. But what they can't do is skin cancer screening. And so that is really a key element that's a big lift for us. And we can't have enough derm. So yeah, if you're a derm and you like to rock and like to be a part of this, yeah, please hit me up sooner rather than later. In fact, if the phone was ringing right now, I would put you guys on hold and take a derm call.
Love it.
So, I think going back to early detection and how important it is, and for my story, it was an accidental finding. I'm a big guy, and I was like, maybe it's from walking around the boat too much, and I was like, my back hurts. I went to the doctor, and doctor's like, maybe we should do some tests. And I was like, all right. And then next thing I know, they call me and they're like, dude, you got a golf-sized bald tumor on your kidney. I was like, huh, all right. Well, what do we do? And they're just like, got to go in and take it out and take part of the kidney. I was like, okay. I was like, can I still get the unlimited drink package? He said, if it all goes well at some point, yes.
Can you just pay 1.5 times the drink package, or less than that if you only have 1.5 kidneys?
You're the ideal patient, Chris. I'm sure that they were thrilled to hear those tough questions.
He said, we're going to try it laparoscopically. He's like, you're a big guy, but we might have to go in there. I said, all right, well, just, I got a boat to catch, so don't screw it up, doc. Real quick, I want to talk about Welshly Arms and the song Dreamers. Came out June 6th. Sam, can you walk us through? I love the design of the artwork.
Thanks.
And can you for the listeners out there, because I know there's people listening, and I'm always a huge fan of hearing about the artwork. As I was talking about the design for We Rock Cancer, can you touch base or touch on that?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for saying that too. There was a lot of debate on that artwork, if it made sense, if it like even looked like what it was supposed to look like, which is a footprint making a puddle, and so it's reflecting up at the. So we've kind of been playing around with this new theme of there sort of being a Welshly Arms hotel, and
Okay.
we've been rolling out a few different little pieces of merch and different designs for the singles that have this kind of theme with them. And so this could be like sort of the next kind of phase of our, just the next generation. And so it's reflecting at the hotel sign in the background.
Oh, I
And
see. Yes.
sort of the the deeper part of that and the meaning is just that song was even written in sort of a stage of our careers where we've been a band now for 10 years. We've had to go through some changes in personnel and just some different struggles. Different people have had, I mean, we've been on the road a lot. There were some years that were really a lot for all of us, um, and really hard to get through. But the dream really hasn't died. Like the dream is still very, very strong. To basically, do what we're gonna do in Tyson's, which is be on stage, playing a rock and roll show, taking our music, somewhere new, meeting new people. Obviously, that show has even more special, level to it. But that's the dream, and so that song is actually about our dream to continue, making music and playing music. So the hotel thing, this sort of, the tread mark, and just sort of where we've been, what we've done, and it's sort of a dark. There's also kind of a little bit of a dark look to it. It just kind of encapsulates sort of the whole rock and roll touring life.
Nice. I like how you mentioned when you were going over the band and stuff, you said the dream is strong, and then you looped it back into We Rock Cancer and the event that you guys are headlining. I think it's, and you said changes, and you said the dream is strong. I think it's just all, and I don't think you intentionally said those things because you're going to be at We Rock Cancer, but it's nice to see that song, Dreamers, and We Rock Cancer, and it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of like I said before, like full circle, and everybody's there just for such an awesome cause. And Tim, question: the Capital One Hall, have you guys always had it there, or have you guys bounced around different venues?
This will be our third year at Capital One Hall, so until we have 10,000 people banging our door and we have to move, down to Capital One Arena or something else. We love the facility. The artists don't want us to go anywhere else. The load-in push is literally 60 feet. They love that. There's no dark alleys. It's all state-of-the-art. So it's a fabulous facility. Anyone that's been there, is just blown away by it. So hopefully, Chris and Mark, you'll be down there to see it for yourselves. We'd love to have you guys be a part of it.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Speaking of full circle, Tim, are you going to be on the rock boat this year?
I'm getting a lot of rock boat questions. I hope so. My focus for the next 3 weeks is pulling off this big night, and then we'll take a look at that. I would love to. It's definitely time to get back out there. And I like to say, every time Sam's on the boat, I need to be on the boat. So we'll see what we can do to make that happen.
I like
I'm going to have to call Charlie and see what he's got, if he's holding a space.
Yep.
We have talked about, just to plant a seed with you, and maybe this will ramp up the reminder in his notes page, is we've talked about actually bringing We Rock Cancer on the boat and doing screenings for people.
That'd be awesome.
That would be incredible.
So that's another effort we're working on as well.
Very cool.
Love it. Well, speaking of the boat, cannot wait to see Sam and his band on there. Every time Sam's on the boat, I walk away with an autographed vinyl from them. So cannot wait to get Wasted Words and Bad Decisions on the boat. Hopefully there'll be some copies of that there.
There will. We will have them.
Tim,
I've got one. I'll put your name on it now, Mark.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Tim, what's the as far as We Rock Cancer and the event, what's the biggest thing that you have learned to adjust to since starting this part of We Rock Cancer, this specific event?
Well, there's a million moving pieces for every one of these events, and my background, I did have some time, 4 or 5 years in radio, which kind of prepared me for this part of the music business, but in no way does it prepare you for what it's like to pull one of these gigs off on a daily basis. It is literally a million moving parts and pieces. And I mentioned to Sam, I mentioned to every one of our artists, I cannot believe you do this every day. Because if I get through it once a year, I consider it a major accomplishment. So as fans going to these shows, we go in, we sit down, and we are blown away by the performance. But man, everything that happens behind the scenes, even if you try to come up with 100 things that happen behind the scenes, there's another 1,000 that you're not aware of. And the people that are all pulling together that you never see to make it happen. It is really a miracle that unfolds before your eyes every single night.
Tim, Sam, I want to thank you both for your time. I know y'all are super busy, and we are looking forward to getting people to get to the Capital One Hall on September 14th for We Rock Cancer 2024. They can get, if you're interested, if you don't already have tickets, I would encourage you to get tickets. WeRockCancer.org, and get your tickets there through Ticketmaster. You can also donate if you can't make it to We Rock Cancer. You can buy merch. There's a number of other ways you can donate as well. You can donate your time, your money. I think I saw stocks. You can donate stocks. I didn't even know that was a thing today.
Wow.
You can do I don't have any, but you
That's
can
cool.
donate them. Oprah does, so maybe she'll donate them.
There you go.
But
I think Sam and I are on the Oprah show tomorrow, so we'll mention that.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Nice.
sweet.
We're making our rounds.
Nice.
That's great.
Thank you for pushing her off to jump on this one.
Her intern would be
that.
on time.
Things first, man. The rock boat community is full of people that not only love music but have huge hearts, and you guys are a key to that, getting the message out, and not only that, but supporting things like Rock by the Sea. People are like, oh, well, that's a different kind of cancer. I'm like, man, there is plenty of cancer to go around. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
so
there's enough need.
Really appreciate everything that you guys are doing to bring the message out there, and we hope we see you at the event on September 14th.
Well, speaking of that support, we are from the BoatCast and our sponsor, the Fit Collective. We're going to be sending a donation your way as well.
You guys are awesome. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Very cool.
Sure. Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much, and I would hope to see you both on the boat, if not before. And
yes,
stay safe, and we'll see you out there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, sounds great. Can't wait,
care.
guys.